Welcome to the Real Journey of the Entrepreneur. The journey of any entrepreneur begins with a decision, then writing down your vision, then the execution of that vision. It is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who understand how powerful your mind is and that you can truly create the life that you deserve. It does require a unique formula that includes belief in yourself, a lot of consistency, connecting with an OG, a lot of tears, missing out on a few events and things, and taking a whole lot of risks that will allow you to see your vision and dream come to pass. This journey of the entrepreneur is from the perspective of a wonderful mother, a business owner, whose goal is to break generational barriers and normalize the process of wealth building and financial wellness through entrepreneurship, all while creating a social and give back along the way. I am sharing this journey with you and invite you to share this process with me. Let's do this together. It's my own, but you have to feel comfortable to own it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I will always support you.
Thank you.
Well, hello there, good people. Hey there. Hey there, good people, as my earring falls. Welcome to another episode of the Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. I am so excited to have you join us for, guess what? Another episode, right? I have the good opportunity and privilege to interview those who have the courage to create their own economy through entrepreneurship. And my next guest is one of them, but just so happens to be a serial entrepreneurial, not eating cereal, but one who has multiple businesses and that has experience that I'm excited to learn about. So I am your host and producer of the Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. I am also the founder and CEO of 11375, a business consultancy that connects resources to small businesses and at the intersection of government, small business, and also corporations. We connect social impact. So I'm excited to have you join us today and introduce my next guest. So, as you all know, I love introducing guests, but I also love when they are able to share their stories. So, I am going to welcome our next guest, Christopher. You're here.
Hello, all day. Thank you for welcoming me on this podcast, right?
Yes.
And yes, my name is Chris B. But Christopher, if you're a principal or a school teacher or even something in that realm, this is my first podcast that I've ever done. So everybody bear with me. And I'm so glad to be here because this old guy have a whole lot of things going on as far as experience, strengths, and hopes. So with that, let's get to it.
So I have let's start with how you got started as an entrepreneur, because that's not something that one just decides in a day that they're going to be an entrepreneur. What drove you to that?
If I must say, well, I believe what drove me to it was the fact that I got fired from every job that I ever owned. And some job, my last jobs, I got fired twice. It was just basically, I didn't want to be there. And I knew it was something greater out there. So I would stay there long enough to get a paycheck. And then I wouldn't show up no more, which is bad.
Right.
So coming around 1989, now I'm a serial entrepreneur. I chucked it up with the corporate world, and I said, let me try and get something together for myself. So the first year was kind of rough. I mean, I'm from East New York, Brownsville, and I say both of them together because I hustled I was called back in 1989 the balloon man. You buy balloon, yeah. I'll tell you, this is way back. I went from a good job working for transit, got fired from transit, had to go to Con Edison, got fired from Con Edison, had to go to a messenger service, got left the messenger service to run my own business out of a shopping cart. Now, I don't know, people from Brownsville probably remember, we put the balloons on a stick, put them in the shopping cart, and you ride into wherever there's a park or wherever there's a kid. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I used to stand out there with the balloon, shake it, shake it, shake it. And that was the beginning of my entrepreneurship. I mean, I came from the shopping cart to a truck, from a truck to multiple trucks. And from my family, just didn't understand how would I leave all of these great, I was smart. I don't know what happened now, but why would I leave these good jobs, these lifetime jobs, to go play in the street? I couldn't explain it then. And then a lot of things went on. And I kept the desire. I kept the desire to grow. I've had stores. I've worked on Pickens Avenue. I've worked in 165th Street in Queens. I worked on Pennsylvania Avenue. I've worked from Pennsylvania Avenue, walked all the way down to Prospect Park, selling balloons, walked all the way back. I mean, you love it. And you learn to, I learned that a lot of people out here tied to a job that don't make sense. I mean, I don't like to talk down on people that have jobs, but a lot of people are in jobs and they don't have the freedom that I had. I had all day freedom. I was doing something that I love. And when you love something, you put a whole lot of more intent, a whole lot of attention to it. And it just grew and grew. Like I said, a few years out there in the street, got me a store. The store was doing good. I closed that store, went back to the street, opened up another store, opened up a warehouse. And I stayed in the books. I stayed fighting businesses, the government. You got the thing called IRS. You got the thing called code enforcement. You got the police, because the police didn't want you to be on the street selling the stuff, even though I wasn't just on the street. I am a disabled vet. So I was able to get a vendor's license. And that's what started a lot of stuff. So my education came from the street. I had to figure out how to pay my taxes, how to get different licenses, how to get business permits, what was a sole proprietor, what was a LLC, what is an S Corp, what is a C Corp. All of these things from that point, I learned it before I jumped into it. Because a man without a plan is going nowhere.
All right, I gotta launch in for just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't know that I was talking to the balloon man. Because
did you buy balloons from me?
I'm from Brownsville.
Did you buy balloons?
That's why I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, I remember because it I don't know what it's called now. Imagination Square. I don't know. So Betsy had park across the street from the pool.
I sold there a lot of times.
You sold
They used to have the concerts there.
So first of all, let me get my feels all out, right? It wasn't me specifically. It was my grandmother that would buy because she would fuss. We'd be like, yo, the balloon guy's outside. And that's how I remember. So it's so cool to kind of like make the reconnection. But right. I wanna say in all my excitement how I'm listening to your process of the how, right? And how you made a statement that you really had to learn through trial and error, And I don't like to call it mistakes, because everything a part of your entrepreneurial journey is lessons learned that I know now and I believe. So I'm curious, right? Because you went from doing the corners or the parks to owning, physical locations. How did you do? I'm curious for the listeners to understand. You didn't have a roadmap or a blueprint. How did you do that? Right? Did you just go to the bank and say, "Give me some money," so I can open this building? Like, let us understand how you did that.
I did it on the muscle. Being that there's a lot of opportunities out here now. And back in the 89, back in the early 90s, I didn't know nothing about going to no bank.
Mm.
I was making good money. I was making great money compared to my jobs that I had. And I was making money on a daily basis. So I've always been business minded, you know, save, save, save. And that's what I had to do. Most of the business that I had to finance them through my pocket. And I had to finance them through my pocket, taking care of children and a wife. I call her wife, She was BM, but I call her wife. So I had to be smart in that aspect. I had to know how to move around. I mean, if I made $1,000 this week, I couldn't go out and blow 900 because I'd had to buy my re-up, and that was one thing that I knew. You always got to have the more money to get your re-up. It looks like a lot of money, but it's that same money being recycled all the time. Banks wouldn't have me because they wanted to see a business banking, and they wanted to see you putting your money in the bank. If I had my money in the bank, I couldn't go to the wholesale. So I had to figure out who was more important, having something in the bank that looks good or giving the wholesaler money so I can double up or triple up. And these things started to come. Like, my first year was my toughest year.
Right.
The first year gave me my roadmap. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I make money. And then my network, because there's definitely my story stems from, this is my life lesson. Don't burn no bridges in business, because you may have to walk back across them. So me and my wholesalers became great friends. I would bring them that money on a regular basis. It wasn't no credit, for me up until 97. It wasn't no credit. Everything I had to do, I opened up a store with all cash. I remember a funny story. I remember giving my aunt money for me to hold, and it was coming in so fast. And then I needed to make the move to buy the store, and she told me something that I looked at as crazy. Oh, I can't get you all this money out at one time. I said, what? But I didn't know about banking at that time. You can't just go in there and pull out 40 or 50 grand. I didn't know. I gave it to you. Give me my money back. But anyway, these are the subtle things that you learn. I don't know if that was an error, but it was definitely a trial. But I got the money. I made the money. We got the store. It was a balloon store / party. I used to do the balloon work. And we was going to buy the building, but then I had another opportunity to buy a warehouse. I started manufacturing teddy bears and pillows. And all of these things, it made me a serial, because my network would bring stuff and I would hire people and we would hustle together like a team. So I always figured that I had to feed my team. I always figured that I had to have something to help somebody else make some money, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. And I want
You
to
know,
lean in on that about what you just said, because a lot of what I see, so I serve as a business coach and I work in a variety
mhm,
of spaces. And the one thing that you mentioned is about relationship building and mindset, right? So you're building essentially with your crew, right? To help to feed the ecosystem. It's not just one man on an island, right? And I
yeah,
really want to unpack that, because a lot of businesses established, just figuring it out, are missing that component that we all can eat. We all can win. Can you elaborate on that? Because I love how you shared the story, but I just, from an OG to someone who's still learning, please share the goodness.
okay. Okay. It came out from, okay, it's 1989. I got fired. My family's not really messing with me because they see me as the blacker sheep. And so I'm out here by myself. My
Mm.
kids are young. My kids are very young. They toddlers. So I got to get this money at all costs, you know. So there was other little kids out there. These kids was like 7, 8 years old, and they just running around. So at the time, I could buy dollar roses. I sell them for $1. I get them for like 25 cents. So I gave one of the smart kids, I said, here, take 12 roses, bring me back $12. Cost me $3. Man, it was bringing me that stuff back so fast, I got scared. But that's what grew me, and in turn grew them, because now I'm saying that the kids that I had interactions with came from, they was out in the street with no direction. They wasn't eating, they wasn't doing a lot of things. So when I put the roses in their hand, they found out that they could sell. Now I had my spot on the street. They would come there, they would help me unload my truck. They would get everything together so I can have my stand. And then they would take their roses and go out and make hundreds of dollars. And they was getting 20% of that money. And to this day, some of them guys, they went their ways, but some of them guys are entrepreneurs in their own right, you know, and that dynamic caused me to franchise and to improvise, was the word I was thinking.
Okay.
It's better to move with a trusted crew than to sit up there and try to get all the money. Me being in the street, I've seen a lot of things happen where people get together, they have a business plan, but ego. I got to be the bigger dog. I got to be the bigger person. I put my ego to the side and get that money. And it's always been like that. If I can help you, I'll help you. If you're not doing what I'm doing, then I'll see you after I finish what I'm doing. But my job is 24/7. So I don't know if I got time for the BS, you know? But it seems like a lot, but it was just what I love to do. And they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And yeah, that's just the foundation part.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go up to, now I'm older. I got a few years in. So now I'm buying stores, I'm buying trucks. I have 4 or 5 vans out in the street. And one thing that will always be, and never forget, there are books out here. There's something called BOOK. Read them. Figure out the lesson from people that already wrote the book. You know, there's a lot of biographies out there that will explain what's going on. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I went the way of the book, and I found out. And like I said, I'm building, and now the bank account is good. Now I got credit. Now I can. My kids are older. I had to send all of my kids through the street. I had opened up a store, fantasy variety store, that was a lost leader, just so my kids can have a place to come to know that they could be an entrepreneur. You know, it takes a little discipline, but I taught my kids how to use a cash register. I taught them how to stock. I used to take them down to buy the stuff from the wholesalers, you know, and not only did I show them, I showed their friends, you know, because we have to give back. I don't stand on no pulpit and try to preach to the world. I just have a basic philosophy. Each one teach one. If you can hear me, just pass the information on. You know, it's not for me to keep, you know. And when I got out of that mindset, I would give a little and people would give me more. And I couldn't understand it, but I'd always give. And then somebody would say, hey, look, there's an opportunity over there. Try it. Oh, there's an opportunity over there. Try it. So around 2010, I'm selling books. Black authors, Terry Wood, Dutch, who else? The guy from
like Eric Jerome Dickey.
Carl Weber, Quam.
Yeah.
And I'm on Pickens Avenue, Pickens and Chester. I'm having book shows, book signings right out there in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And what I got from that, hey, if you want to hide something from people, put it in a book. These authors was talented. You understand what I'm saying? We have a lot of talent that's going wholesale, going into these jobs. My biggest wish and a prayer that more people would step out on what they know and turn it into a business. You know, because that's why one of my websites is called Chris B. Hustles. Chris B. Hustling, because I don't think I'll ever stop hustling. You know, I don't think I'll ever stop learning. And I know that I'm getting older, and I know that I still got to make money. I still got to be viable. So now I'm going from 2010. Now I know that I'm getting older. Now I know that I have to do something like Robert Kiyosaki. I have to find businesses that'll run themselves. You know, so I get into real estate. Now in the real estate, here I am. I'm still on, listen, I got my money in my pocket. How much you want? And they're like, yo, it don't work like this. Well, how does it work? Oh, you got to have good credit. You got to show where the cash is from. You know, I'm like, no, you can't just come up here and buy this thing. I can buy it all cash. You can't come up here and buy this thing all cash. You got to show money laundering and all of this stuff. Woo, wah, woo. So I'm like, you know, I'm crazy, but again, I'm learning. I don't know. I don't have the book of all. I have the book of I will find out. My favorite quote, I figured out. So now it takes me 2 years, 3 years to figure out. No, it took me long. It takes me a long time to figure out how I'm gonna get this money from out of my pocket into the bank, and then I have to learn the whole banking system, which is like, wait, now you take my money, and then you're gonna give me 0.000%, where I'm used to making 500% off in my dollar. But then just so you can loan me some more, big thing. But anyway, I learned it. And I bought a couple of houses in New York. Then I went to New Jersey when New Jersey was better, right after the fall of New York. Then I went to New Jersey, and New Jersey taxed me out of pocket. Their taxes is like being in Long Island. I don't know. And I went from there to Pennsylvania. You know, I'm a hustler at heart. You know, if it don't make dollars, don't make sense. So now, I mean, a lot of times, and I'm going to say that straight, a lot of times we get into situations and we try to be on the same level as the teacher. Me, I stay at my level. Teach me the way that I can understand. I will never come up to you. I don't care, preacher, judge, or whoever. Do you understand? No, I don't understand. You're not going to get a yes man out of me. Teach this to me. If I'm going to put my money into it, teach me so I can grow. Teach me, again, so I can teach my kids. Teach me so I can read, so I can duplicate it. And now I got it. Biggest thing in the world. Yeah, you understand? No. Yeah, I understand. I understand what's going on. You mess around, be flying backwards.
So now I'm curious, right? Because there's a couple of things that I and this is so juicy for me, right? Because this is singing to my heart, because I integrate my child into the businesses world. And I started that from inception, from when she was born.
Of course.
Whenever we do events, she's on payroll and she's in speaking at events. When I do, she opens. So that's my process. So it's singing real good to my heart. But I'm curious about, so you're building and have built a legacy for your family, right? How are they now integrated? Because you didn't stop your businesses. How are they now integrated, or are they still integrated into your businesses?
Nope. I do one thing. I don't want to be selfish, and I don't want to be vindictive. But I promise, I talk to myself a lot, but I promise myself that I will always give my kids the option. You force somebody into it, they're not going to take it. Life has a way of making you remember them lessons. So I've always been the one to give them the information, and my character they have. They go to the job and they tell the job that they're going to be there or not be there. And they have executive jobs. And my son down south, he has his own business too. But trying to put all of it into the kids to follow into my footsteps, I don't think it's two things. Either you're going to grow them up to have their own mind, or you're going to grow them up to be a follower.
Wow.
Have your own mind. If this is what you want to do, be able to speak that. If you don't want to do it, I'm not forcing you to do it. It's great money here. I love it. But just because I love it, I can't expect you to love it. But I can expect you to tell me the truth, and I can expect you to be a better person than me, because you already seen what I went through. So now my oldest daughter, she's in the business, but she has a job. She has the side hustle from the job. And we talk every day about building stuff. So I think that she would be the one once she get over the, I don't know, sometimes she like to be in a job. So she like that office. She's a big personnel type. So she likes to be in that era. She strives for it. She loves getting up, going to work. That's all I could say. My other daughter, she's in the hair. She's going to school, and she's going to school to be a cosmetologist.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her just one thing: get your diploma from cosmetology and find a way to make my hair black without the dye. You know? And I had another. My oldest son, he passed.
Sorry to hear
He passed last year in March.
that.
But he was basically my twin. Me and him, we started a lot of businesses together, and he was right there up until almost the end. He had something going on with his liver, and it was a very trying moment for me. But in life, things do happen, and you have to, regardless of the fact, you still got to show up, and I put it together, and I guess in a couple of months I'll have another reception for myself, my anniversary, because it'll be my first year without him. Mm-hmm. That's our hell, but I taught him, and I taught his friends around, and I give the knowledge to those that will listen. I want to be a consultant, but at the same time I am, because I can figure out a game plan in half a second. I can tell you what's going on, and I can lead you to making some money. But again, I do that because I love it. I do that because of the love and the love for our people. Our people is a whole nother conversation that we're not ready for that conversation right there, because there's a lot of things that are against us, and I don't see me being against my brothers and sisters when we got the whole world is on our backs. So I give this stuff away, and I try to put it into play that I'm happy just being me. I'm happy being me. First things and foremost, before you go out there and try to beat the world, it's inside. Your heart got to be right. Because I'm not gonna get this. What gains a man to try to gain the whole world and your soul ain't right?
Right. Without losing his soul. Amen.
That's the part that a lot of people don't let out. You have to have your mind right. You have to clear out that clutter, so you can go forward, because business is a battle.
It's true.
Business is a battle. It ain't for the faint of heart. If anybody out there that's listening and wonder why you fail, it's designed for us to fail. They got more trap doors than the worstest horror movie. But how do we get around them? We learn, we do, we network, and we persevere.
So I want to jump in, because I'm intentionally not launching in, because your flow and your storytelling is you have good stories, right? And I think that is beneficial for even me listening and for those who are going to be watching. But I'm curious about how you talked about mindset and how important the mindset is. Would you do a deeper dive in how you were able to manage human experiences, right? This is all human experiences that you're managing. How did you do it, right? How? I mean, just your mindset. How did you care for your mind? Did you meditate? Did you pray? Do you pray? Like, do you go to the gym? Like, how do you manage your mind in order for you to be as successful as you are?
I pray every time I hit a corner. God, let me take in as much as I can, and don't let the bad boys take out as much as they want. And that's my prayer. I step out on faith. I've learned to have a prayer life. I meditate often, if every day, sometimes more, about what am I going into? How am I going to get through this? I'm an educated consumer. You know, I have to know about my product. I have to know that I'm doing the best that I can, you know, with the information that I have. I have to always take a fearless and moral inventory of myself, you know, and it's on a daily basis, and my business plan is written in my heart and my mind. You know, it's like I must grow, and the more that I learn, the more that I have to grow. You know, when my son passed, we didn't have no life insurance. That was one of my biggest mistakes. Now that I look, we didn't have no life insurance, and I played the ill daddy, like, who gonna put up? And when I looked around, there's another lesson learned. I had to come again out the hip, you know. But I'm not bragging or boasting, but this is my life, you know. So the question is, once you set your sights, it's a lonely road trying to get to the top. You can party, you can drink, you can smoke. It's all a trap door. You know, you're trying to get from the bottom to the top. The bottom to the top is built with obstacles, trap doors. You know, if you don't save your money, you got to stay. You're going back. If you're doing things that are not conducive to you saving, you're stepping back. Your mind got to be ready for this battle. I mean, you going in fighting at least 4 Mike Tysons, one in the front, one on the right, one on the left, and one in the back. If you ain't ready, you getting slugged. Yeah. You know? But I have fun with it. I have fun with it because I know this already. You know, I know it's the fight going in. So Mike Tyson in the back, I tie him up. Bang. Mike Tyson on the right, I push him further out. And the one in front of me, I just got a stiff on him. Because I must go forward, because I never know when somebody's going to need something.
Heavy. This is so good. This is so good. This is so good.
So now I'm buying houses. Now I'm older. So now I figured out all of this stuff that I had. Now I figured out how to work from phone. Now this is the juicy part. How do I work from phone and run 9 businesses? I'm in my pajamas on a daily basis, and the money is keep coming in. Mike Tyson back there tied up, so I can throw the statue over my back and I can walk with that, the one that I'm stiff on, and he's out the way. I mean, there's just rules and tricks to this stuff. And every day is being revealed. You know, they have so much stuff now. They got stocks, they got crypto, they got all of these other, it's a wealth of information. We never stop learning. And tomorrow there's going to be something else new. But not only is there going to be something new, there's a whole lot of old stuff back there. Well, we don't have to live in poverty. Poverty is a choice at this stage of the game. You know, because we have people like you that's putting the information out. They have people like Brother Benny, they're putting the information out. And they're not charging for this information. You come up to me and you can tell me, hey, Chris, I don't know how to get $1. Or all you need is $1, go get 20 bottles. It's already met. There's money in the street. There's money in everything that we do. If we're gonna monetize, if we're gonna talk about monetizing, you don't need no guru. All you got to do is get your first startup, your seed money, and go into business.
Okay, so I know we almost at time, but I feel like we got to do a part 2 of this. But I want to ask you a follow-up question about what you just mentioned, right? Because we both know that while growing your own economy, aka going and being an entrepreneur, having a business, is challenging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned some very, very important things today. Relationship building, not burning bridges, making sure you understand who's within your network, right? Expanding on opportunities such as you mentioned crypto, you mentioned investments, real estate, because we're not getting, unless you live on Mars somewhere, we're not getting any more land on Earth. Might as well invest in it. But then the other thing you talked about is really believing in, because the blueprint is already within you, right? And I want to answer this. I want you to think about the next question I'm going to ask. Why do you believe that so many people have the disbelief that the starting point is within themselves, from your experience?
It's real easy because they're spending trillions of dollars to trick us. They call it a commercial. Run faster, jump higher. Don't believe in yourself. Buy this. This will help you do it. Liquid courage, medical courage, falsehoods. That's why you're saturated from the time you open your eyes to the time you close your eyes with trillion, not billions, but trillions, multi-trillion dollars worth of things to get you off the path. We ain't ready for it. It ain't no way that you can fight it. They tell you, divide, divide, divide. And that's you, Willie Lynch. Separation, divide and conquer. They done got it down. Listen, if they was doing it 200 years ago, don't you think they done, how you say the word, perfected it?
Yeah.
It's already perfected. That's why we're not going nowhere. Sorry.
All right, well, that's good. So, all right, so let me ask you this as we wrap up, right? Give us 3 gems that if someone wants to try to figure out how to make $1 into 15 cents, tell us, because you have a phenomenal story, but just give us three gems that someone can walk away with and say, I can be hustling like Chris B.
Well, the first gem is always going to be the one, buy low, sell high. The second gem would be find somebody that will buy from you high. And the third will be read a book and expand yourself. Know your why. That's in everything that you do. You have to know your why. What makes you get up? What makes you do what you do? And I don't know the word, but the more it's in you, like if you just want to do it, like some people save money for a vacation. Some people save money for a car or something materialistic. But the deeper the why, the longer you'll last. Like I had 4 kids that I had to look out for. It wasn't no shoot after I got a couple of cars, then what? No, they still got to eat. Baby mama told me that, man, these kids got to eat every day later for your dream. So I had to balance the food, the rent, the everything else, and my dream. Wow. So those are basically, that's basically it. It's not complicated.
But we make it complicated.
Yes, we got to make it complicated. But again, you just have to break through the strongholds. A little, a little faith and a little religion goes a long way too. You know, it's what you believe in that makes you the person that you are. You know, and that's not religious. That's facts.
Mm.
Now, think of anything that you can believe in to make you a better person, and then build on becoming a better person. You know, and that's on the serious side for me.
Yeah.
Even though I do joke, but my thing is always becoming better, learning more because it's out there. If you know better, you can do better. So I want to know better so I can do better. I'm an all-time hustler, Chris B. Hustler. So I want to see if I can get another job. You think I can do this consulting thing with you?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I know I'm only in this space 10 years. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, only in 10 years because I got essentially let go from my job after returning to work from maternity leave. And
Mm-hmm.
I did not have any idea that this was the space that where I am now. And I joined Community Board 16. Shout out to Community Board 16 Brownsville. I'm a Brownsville, Brooklyn native. And
Okay.
I got my start by hosting events in the community. And this
Mm-hmm.
was more around government contracting, which I knew absolutely nothing about. Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
nothing about it. And so when I was asked to curate an event, I partnered with a local church. Shout out to Mount Arad Church in Brooklyn, Brownsville, or Ocean
Mm-hmm.
Hill, Brownsville. And that's how I learned about government contracting. And I have measurable success because
Great.
because of that curiosity, and also a business coach telling me, yeah, they'll buy your services, because they were talking about, you know, billions of dollars that's being allocated. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I want some of them coins. But I wasn't set up appropriately. So once I figured out, to your point, you know,
Mm-hmm.
lessons along the way, I wound up launching into the space, and it's what I do now. But I'm also like you in a sense of helping to ensure that the information is getting appropriately back to those who I feel need it most, right? Um, and and I don't want to say we don't have access, because most have smartphones, right? So the accessibility is there. The libraries have not closed down, right?
Oh.
So I'm a huge library connoisseur. Like, you can
Mm-hmm.
find me in one of the libraries within the city, in the upstate market as well, just sitting there, being engulfed in learning. That is my jam. Most people may
Okay.
not do that, but that's what I appreciate doing. And that's where the resources come from. You have to believe in what it is that you want to do, and then believe in yourself enough to have the courage to have faith and
Step
act.
out on faith. Yes.
You got to do that. So that's why I'm appreciating all that you stated here, and I would love to have you come back, because this you're sharing and pouring into a younger generation, i.e. me. And now that I discovered that you's the balloon man, like, I'm like, come on now, like, I'm talking to a celebrity here.
Wow.
Like, so I don't think you understand. Like, I remember, because when you mentioned, I was like, wait a minute. I remember it would be Betsy Head Pool, right? In the summer. That's cool. I was in proximity to the pool. And if not there, the park, right? Which was across from, what was that? It was Hopkinson Avenue. I don't know what they call it now, Thomas Boylan or whatever now. So you used to go,
Thomas Boylan. Yes.
yeah, you used to go over to
Yeah.
that
I used to
park
come from.
as
Mm-hmm.
well after the pool sessions would be finished, right? And so that's how I remember you. But I didn't have permission to approach. It was either my grandmother or my brother, because I was always the one that was asking. So I'm excited to meet a local celebrity. And thank you for having the courage to do that, because as I'm listening to your story, and yes, you've done other things, but that was your genesis in
Yes.
stepping in that space. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for showing up in the community, because we need balloons and love too.
Of course. And that was the way that I had to babysit too, because if you would have looked down in the cart, one of my babies was in the cart trying to fend off the other kids. Listen, they had a job. I hired them to be inside the cart, so when the little kids snatched the balloons, they would grab it back, and the little kids be like,
Lord have mercy. Whatever
"Hey,
it is.
well, yes." I mean, as I look back, it was a journey, and it was a love journey, because I found so many jewels and so many good things by being my own person,
Mm,
by learning. And I tell anybody, I understand the need for a job, and I do. I seriously do. I got fired from so many of them,
mm.
but it's just not for me, you know. And you know, if you if you step out on faith, I call Jesus Christ Lord and my Lord and Savior. He will tell you, he will send you what you need to, he'll direct your steps.
Mm.
And that's that's just it. Now I take what others might call risks, but it's a calculated decision. How I get to be a serial entrepreneur is just like everything else. No, I'm not gonna delude myself and say everything that I touch is gonna turn to gold. But if I have a 70% turnover, I'm cooking with gas.
Mm.
I tried, now imagine, you tried 10 things, 7 of them work. The 7 going to pay for the 3 that you just dipped your toe in.
Mm.
So now you got 7 work. So then later on, after you get them rolling, you try another 10. Now, 7 of them, now you got 14 that's working. I'm talking about bringing money to the gang.
Yeah.
Why we can't do it?
Mindset. You know it.
Of course I know.
It's my
But
it's
that's why I stay in my pajamas. You know? I'm getting ready to do something. So I'm working on something that's just it has to be mind blowing. It's you know, when, and I'll say this, when you're tied up into a lot of things and you're doing busy stuff, you don't have time for the brain to sit down. We don't I don't I didn't appreciate my brain until I got everything out the way. And what I mean by everything is all of the distractions and all of the stuff, and you get it peace, and then understand that what this brain does. This is the best brain in the world. The black brain is the best brain in the world. You give it a problem. If you don't believe me, ask them grandmothers that had the scuffle. You can pray. You give this brain right here a problem, it's going to solve it. No AI, no nothing. It solves it.
Mm.
So we get rid of the distraction, and I watch myself go. I watch myself flourish. And I say this to say, when my youngest child got to be 18, I told her child support is over. Now it's daddy support.
Mm.
I wasn't kicking her out the nest. It was just the fact that now you have to become your own pillar of society. You have to figure it out. And I'm always going to be here, but you have to figure it out with the seeds that I gave you. I didn't give you the whole tree. I gave you seeds because I know that she had to take what I gave her and she had to grow.
Amen.
But now, after I finished all that, I became a serial entrepreneur because there's too much money on the table. There's money everywhere. Look, like you said, a lot of them guys in Brownsville, I know. A lot of them sat at my book stand. And I see them on TV now. And I laugh and I just like, wow, I know that guy when he said he was going to do it. And now they're doing it. And it's great because we need powerful people in all fields, you know, and we need people in these fields to open up the door for us.
True.
And us meaning all of us, young and old, you know.
That's true. So as we wrap up today, but not out of the minds of everybody, Chris, I want to thank you so much for
You're
joining.
welcome.
This was so juicy. And this is why you got to come back again when your schedule allows. Thank you for allowing us to be your first of many.
Yeah,
Of many. I'm excited.
Well,
I'm excited to hear about what other entrepreneurial aspirations you have, because I feel like you're going to be doing a pajama line next. I feel that's that's coming since
well, watch. It's in the beta stage. It's in the beta stage now, but it's going to be something that is my next thing is to feed our nation. You know, so it's in the beginning stage now, and in a couple of months, it really don't take long. In about 3 months, I have it already figured out. Right now, it's going good, but you know, if I can't duplicate it, it's just a side thing. Once I can duplicate it, now it's the hustle. It's real and it's ready to go. And I made a big promise this year to my kids, and I have to see it through. So we're gonna see.
We know it's gonna come through. Because Crispy hustling
all the time.
Crispy hustling. And so we can find you where, Chris, on the website. Where can you tell us where your websites are?
I have crispyhustling.com, which is consultation, business building. I buy real estate on there, and I teach people how to get into business. I have Flea Market House, which was my first website, and it we all buy houses, and then we do a little business management and stuff like that. And my latest one that I'm trying now is BK Smarts. BK Smarts is I'm also in the cannabis business of New York.
Nice.
You know, I have my processor type 3 license. I really don't like it, but before I do I do t-shirts, cannabis style t-shirts. And I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, I'm all around.
You all around?
I work from phone. So I learned to use all of these gadgets. Why not? I mean, you know, I can't say nothing bad about them if I don't use them. That's a lot of people, AI, I use AI too. Shoot. You know? I use all the tools that's going to make my business where I can stay on this couch and not worry about if my bills are going to get paid. You know?
All right.
Bills are paid.
All right. Until soon. Thank you for joining.
Until soon. Just reach out. Reach out. You have my numbers. And yeah. This was I didn't even know. You know how I remember a lot of this stuff, and this just opened my eyes up until the value of life again. You know.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
I really appreciate you being my first and opening up a way to I could give back. If anybody want to reach me, I guess I'll let them do it through you. And come on, let's build our nation. Let's build up, you know. And I have trust. One thing I do, I have trust. If I teach you how to fish, one day, maybe not the same day that I teach you, but one day you're gonna come back and you're gonna throw me a fish.
Wow.
Or maybe, the way that the universe works, you might not throw me the fish, your kid might throw me the fish. Or your cousin, or the person that you teach. But again, I'm still gonna be out there fishing too.
All right, awesome. All right, well, on that note, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And for anyone, crispyhustling.com, fleamarkethouse.com, bksmarts.com. Tell them that Anita from 11375 sent you over. Take good care.
Okay, then. Thank you.
All righty.
Bye.
So I'm going to tell you, friends, that I am full. First of all, I got to meet the Balloon Man, and this is just a part of my childhood. I am like a little bit giddy inside because that was a part of our summer and spring experiences. We knew him as the Balloon Man, and it was something that we look forward to. Just like when the ice cream truck came around, we was looking forward to the Balloon Man, and there you have it. So crispyhustling.com, fleamarkethouse.com, bksmarts.com. I also, I'm not going to leave you without sharing some information. And shout out to my good friends at the LDC East New York for sharing presenters to come be on the Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. Quick story, I am not just now an advisor there for the EAC at the LDC in East New York, the Local Development Corporation of East New York, that connects resources to small business and helps to build communities in building their ecosystem. I'm also a former client. So remember, I was talking about the story about how I learned about curated event in Brownsville for certificate government contracting. That came from one of the panelists that I reached out to was the former Women's Center director, Gail Davis. So shout out to Gail Davis. I know she out there in some land. And that was the person who put the seed inside me that said, oh yeah, they'll buy from you. Because when you look at government contracting, initially you think all construction. I do professional services, and I have been able to secure contracts. And also shout out to Gail Davis and her team at the time. Also, the new executive director was there. Now executive director, Bill Wilkins, when they would have me come to the office with my little baby. So now she's a mature 11-year-old. So thank you. And that's where this specific conversation lends from. But I share that because guess what? There's an opportunity fund grant empowering East Brooklyn entrepreneurs that the LDC is looking to, guess what? Provide $10,000 to a specific zip code, right? Why was this opportunity fund developed, right? Because East Brooklyn, the 11212s, 11207, 11206, that zip code, and then there's more zip codes in East Brooklyn, is typically not receiving specific funding for those entrepreneurs. And it's a quick application, friends. So go to the LDC eastnewyork.wisehive.app. If you go to the LDC's website, you'll be able to see it. It is a specific for East Brooklyn. So if you're in Harlem, if you're in the Bronx, we're not throwing shade, but it's specifically designed for East Brooklyn because the focal point is to bring resources specifically there. So I'm going to show it again. If you're watching, Opportunity Fund Grant, it's the LDC East New York.wize hive, Hive.app, and it's under the LDC. So, and it's Who couldn't use $10,000? So, friends, check that out. Also, wanted to share some additional resources that we have coming up, because you always know we got stuff coming, always got stuff coming, right? If you're looking to get yourself into specific spaces, namely leveraging AI for marketing, your business, and growth, we have an upcoming workshop that's coming down on February 4th. It's held virtually. You can register at 11375 webinars. They are complimentary. Only thing we need is your time, and we may ask for your blood type too, pun intended. But these are services and webinars that are offered specifically for you to grow and to learn more about where it is, what you're doing, and how you create impact for yourself within your businesses. So, on that note, I want to thank you. And again, we had a gem, an OG from the neighborhood, which I always get excited about. But please, if you are interested in being on the show, the barrier of entry is very small. You just got to have a good story. You got to tell the truth about you being in business and sharing some gems, because I want to make sure that the resources that we are sharing are specific to others. And check us out. You can scan if you're watching, or you can come on the Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. You can RSVP and put your information in. The episodes air on YouTube, Facebook, and on LinkedIn on Mondays at 7:05. So check us out. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us. We are on all of the platforms at 11375. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Follow us at 11375. And I'm so excited to have you here. I look forward to checking out with you again. Salute, certain virtual kisses to you. Bye-bye. When I think about motherhood and the space of entrepreneurship, it is two of the most scariest things that anyone who has chosen to be a mom can do. I love being a mother. I love being able to smile, share, grow, have my CEO in the making, observe what it's like to be a business owner, to be able to use the things that are coming out of my mind and create, being in meetings, doing community work, and creating a space that we want to create for long-term wealth. Both are equally challenging. Both are equally scary, but the beauty about being in this space of duality lets me know that when I see her smile, when I see her laugh, when she challenges me to be a better person, I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Welcome to our fourth annual Full Circle Business Brunch.
This room is small enough but big enough that you can connect with someone. And that is the intention of the Full Circle Business Brunch experience. Being in business is not a competition. We all can win at all levels.
We come from a lot of poverty. How do you break out of a scarcity mindset as a small business?
If you keep it positive, positive will always keep you. The idea that I'm always broke, I never have enough money. You can easily say, I don't have enough money yet. And that changes how you then move forward with your next financial decision.
I'm here to help educate you all on things that you may not have known about, because we find that there's a lot of suffering that goes on when people don't know about stuff.
When you're entering into a business relationship, it's still a relationship. So you want to maintain a good rapport with whoever it is that you're transacting with. You're hiring an attorney to not only protect you, but to also be the bad guy in certain situations.
We can help you connect to people who are looking for jobs. We have 200,000 people in our job bank. We're here to help the businesses out there who are doing really the heavy lifting in our economy.
This is my 4th time attending this event. Each year it gets better and better. And it's really inspiring to see what she's doing for the community and working with the youth.
Why I wanted to start my business is because my mom was working too hard, right? I want to have my own business, my own clothing to wear on the street.
This is an amazing, amazing event with lots of knowledge for business owners, business starters, and just who's thinking about getting in the industry. Hope this continues to be an annual event for those who want to learn more about business and get into the business space.
Thank you for being a part of this transformational experience.
A brighter day tomorrow will bring. Oh.
Welcome to 11375. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am your Chief Experience Officer. At 11375, we offer strategic alignment solutions specific to you and your business goals, and also connecting everything with social impact. So if you are looking for a really amazing organization where we help you to focus your strategy and connecting it with social impact, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are on all the social platforms, and you can contact us at 11375.